All right, today we're discussing HB 261108, Colorado Bureau of Investigation Access Federal Fingerprint Search Service. So, what does this mean? This would give the Colorado Bureau of Investigation access to the Federal Bureau of Investigation's fingerprint search service, allowing authorized agencies to receive notification of activity on individuals who have submitted to a background check. Okay. So, in other words, all of those individuals in Colorado, and mostly, obviously, this is a Colorado law, but all of the individuals across Colorado who submitted to a Form 1 or Form 4 for some of their firearm stuff, which require fingerprints, this would give the Colorado Bureau of Investigation access to those. This is one Democrat, one Republican, one Democrat, one Republican. So technically a bipartisan bill, which means both parties are actively seeking to subvert your Second Amendment. Speaking of subverting your Second Amendment, this is a post by Mr. Raymond Garcia. He is the head of the Hispanic GOP of Colorado. I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you. He said, "Oh, for fuck's sake, talk about missing the freaking point. I posted a commentary questioning the left's narrative that Alex Preddy was just an innocent nurse there trying to help his fellow man. And I pointed out that he brought a military-grade pistol, quote-unquote, and not a first aid kit. The point that Preddy was not there to just help as the left is trying to claim, but that he was actually there as an antagonist to obstruct ICE agents and cause havoc. The proof of this was that he brought a gun and extra magazines instead of a first aid kit or any medical supplies that he might need to just help. Many people took particularly offense at the term military-grade pistol. Now, the reason I mentioned his pistol as military-grade was deliberate. I was pointing out that Preddy did not use a small concealable pistol, as would be practical for self-protection, using a concealable carry piece, something like a Ruger LCP, small, comfortable, dependable, concealable, easy to quickly deploy if the need arises. No, Preddy bought a very large military-grade pistol, not at all designed for concealed carry, designed for military application." By the way, I know several individuals who conceal carry full-size pistols, myself sometimes included in that. And wouldn't you know it, I get inundated with no such thing as military-grade pistol. Well, that was not the point, but since you guys took such offense, let me edify you. The SIG P320 is in fact designed as a military pistol. In fact, Sig Sauer won the U.S. military's modular handgun system contract in January 2017 for its P320 pistol. A massive $580 million deal. So basically, he's trying to just justify calling this thing a military-grade pistol. It is a large pistol that carries a relatively large amount of ammo. It is in fact designed for military personnel. And before any of you try, I do not think there should be any restrictions between military weaponry and civilian weaponry. I firmly believe that if the government can have it, anyone should be able to have it. But in this case, there is a huge difference between a concealable pistol and a full-size pistol. And see, that's just stupid rhetoric. A pistol's a pistol. Whether it's a full-size Glock 17 or Glock 46, if they're both shooting 9mm, they both have the same capacity to kill. One might have less bullets in it, but both are just as deadly. Use of a large military-grade pistol is very telling when you look at the fact that there are very different purposes for different pistols. I mean, so this guy misses the point, and I actually want to read Alicia Garcia's post here on this. He said, "This is one of the many reasons Colorado gun owners are losing the battle. This is the Facebook post from Raymond Garcia, the head of the Hispanic GOP of Colorado. In his statement, he is telling people that military-grade pistols and extra magazines show intent to harm because Preddy showed up to protest with a military-grade firearm instead of a Ruger LCP. Taking a firearm anywhere is not intent to harm. It's intent to defend and protect life. Protesting is a constitutional right, just like the right to bear arms. I understand that Preddy was not peacefully protesting. That is not the focus of this. The focus is we have members of a political party spitting out gun propaganda and sounding just like the anti-gunners who have had no actual experience with firearms and shouldn't be giving advice to anyone about concealed carry. Preaching that the Ruger LCP is what is acceptable for concealment and demonizing pistols of a higher standard is just like saying no one needs an assault rifle or big magazines bad. I'm a professional firearms educator. I teach on the range, live fire for concealed carry 2 to 4 times a week. I'm a defensive pistol program instructor, meaning I understand and apply the concepts of concealed carry. I demonstrate it and teach it. I carry a 6-hour P365X every day and have 5 years. It's chunk ported, $200, has an upgraded grip module by Icarus Precision with the mag base plates and multiple magazines. I also have a dope paint job and a Romeo X red dot. According to the statement made, this is a military grade pistol. I also carry a sidecar holster that holds an extra magazine for my appendix next to the gun. Why does someone carry extra magazines? Well, for the same reason we carry firearms in the first place, for potential threats. You don't get to choose when violence strikes, nor how many attackers or the amount of rounds needed for those scenarios. Self-defense data shows that anywhere from 3 to 6 rounds are needed per attacker, multiple mags for possible multiple attackers. To fix malfunctions, magazines are the primary failure point in semi-autos, which means you need multiple mags for high-stress scenarios involving multiple threats. You need to be able to get that gun up and back into the fight. Anyone who is trained in defensive pistol understands this concept. Increased capacity. Most concealed carry pistols are now regulated for smaller mag possession in gun control states. Backup mag will ensure you do not run out of ammo. Now let's address the blanket statement that a full-sized gun is not for self-defense and you need a concealable pistol like the Ruger LCP. Ruger LCP equals little crappy pistol. Having a gun isn't going to save your life. Being able to deploy it successfully and place defensive rounds on target will. Carry the gun you are most proficient with and train with. Making blanket statements telling people that only one type of gun is purposeful for concealment is dangerous. You always want to conceal the largest gun you shoot accurately and comfortably conceal. This is a personal choice and varies depending on that person's situation, capabilities, and circumstances. The bigger the gun, the easier to grip, less felt recoil. You want not too big, not too small, just right for the end user. But you need to consider balance, concealability, mag capacity, body type and clothing, training and skill set. Grip is arguably the most essential factor for quality, accurate shooting. The more contact with the gun, the more control of the gun. When you're shooting a small gun, your hands will be hanging off the gun, less contact, less control. Larger guns equal less felt recoil. Mass counteracts the force of the gun's operations. I'm pretty sure Mr. Garcia is not a bad guy, just not a professional educator, and we need to be very clear about how we speak of firearms because you are influencing an entire community of people. Get out and train. So I actually firmly agree with her here. It is important that we are all on the same page when it comes to the Second Amendment and things of that nature. So here's the post RMGO discussing HB 26-1108. But this is also another one that another anti-gun sale registry introduced by Sirota, Woodrow, and Kip. Woodrow was the guy who removed himself from Twitter after calling Donald Trump the Antichrist. But this bill will require that gun shops keep buyer names and addresses for all gun purchases, and all law enforcement agencies can access. So the bill would additionally require gun stores to link their security systems to a government law enforcement agency. Absolutely disgusting bill by these gun-grabbing Democrats, and there is, there's no way forward with these people. They don't support the Constitution. They don't support the rule of law. they support criminals and actively target law-abiding citizens, law-abiding gun owners, and go after their Second Amendment right consistently while letting criminals back out on the streets who can easily buy a firearm without going through the processes that your traditional law-abiding citizen would. We have more guns in this country than people, and getting people to own firearms legally and lawfully instead of having to purchase them on the black market is absolutely ideal. So this bill should be shot down alongside with 261108. All this just brings me back to February 17th, 12 days from today, a little under 2 weeks from here. This bill is wonderful. So it'll be heard in the House Judiciary February 17th. This bill would overturn a decade of Second Amendment infringements on the state of Colorado and her citizens. This is a wonderful, wonderful bill to be able to get passed. If the firearm community in Colorado shows up and testifies to this, there is a chance that this actually goes through, regardless of the will of the Democrat legislature. So I urge every firearm owner in Colorado to take February 17th off and schedule yourself to be down at the Capitol building and make our voices heard. Thank you for your time. God bless, and may America remain free.